All right, is everybody ready for us to get started? For the people who are tuned in here, thank you so much for attending this meeting, the kickoff meeting. Basically, we've been sort of running a little bit behind schedule with a few things. Our schedules, as everybody else, it's super busy. So we still have not received our game plan for this upcoming for the current fiscal year. So we are going to just take the ball and run with it. We know that lead and copper roll is going to be the main thing. We also know that the technical assistance that Jim provides the majority of is priceless, and we're just going to continue on the best we can, scheduling lead and copper classes, performing technical assistance, going forward until we do get something formal presented to us. So with that being said, we're gonna first off, let's everybody, you can unmute yourself. You can act like you're in the room with us. If you don't know anything about me at all,
No, we don't want to be in the room with you.
there you go. Everything is very informal here, and that's by design. So with that being noted, let's go around. Everybody can introduce themselves and let us know, give us a little bit about yourself, of what you're, what you've been up to lately, and we'll start like that. And I'll start. Mark Klaus, a Missouri Rural Water retired DNR. That sometimes can.
You had to throw that in there.
I did. The reason I throw that in there is because sometimes I get a little bit out there and say things that might seem harsh, but as I used to wear those shoes, sometimes you need to be. People would call me out occasionally, and sometimes it's like you have to do it as best you can without throwing people under the bus. But yes, I did work there. Great background, learned a lot. Was in operations like 20 years also, so just a different background. Love being around people, work with some of the best people. I can't say that enough. The people I've worked around, so many excellent people, and I'm working right now, Jim, and then everybody who's on this presentation. Same respect to all of you. Thank you.
Well, I'm Jim Patton. Been with MRWA 18 years or so. Worked in various programs. Right now I'm working in 2, EPA and DNR, and rural water, and whatever Howard has me doing. We've done on the EPA deal, we've done a lot of different assistance. And I say that's from chlorine issues, lead issues, sampling issues, just everything that you could think of. We've been doing it this last year, and it's just kind of been, in years past, it's kind of been one thing or the other. It's either been bad back teas or messing with chlorine, but now it's just kind of all over the field. And I don't know why that is, but anyway, so be it. But and Mark will tell you about more of the requirements that's being changed this year. But enjoyed it. Enjoyed working with Mark a lot. I've known Mark for a long time, and now that we get to work together, he was my program director at DNR years ago, so it's come full circle. So anyway, thank you all for being here with us.
Nicely done. We're going to go with Shelby. Shelby is I call her my handler, like FBI people, CIA people and stuff. She's my handler. That's who my point of contact is. So here you go, Shelby.
Yeah, my name is Shelby Miller. I work for DNR, and I've worked for DNR for almost 9 years now. 8 of those years was in enforcement, and the past year has been in capacity development. So that's a little bit of background. Lately, we've been working on the capacity development strategy with EPA to get that updated. And of course, we do our contracts, our circuit rider contract and our EPA TTA grant contract. So that's all I got.
Shelby, congratulations on the move to where you're at. The previous job you had, that is probably one of the more challenging jobs in the department. So congratulations.
Thanks.
And I do enjoy working with
Do you like to move? Yes, I should say.
I do. It's a lot different. Enforcement, you're always treated as a bad guy, and coming over here, it's completely different. So
Glad to have you.
thanks.
We are. Miss Samantha.
Hey everyone, I am Samantha. I am out of EPA Region 7. I am the Missouri State Coordinator for their PWSS program. I've been with the agency for about 3.5 years. As far as stuff that we're doing, daily PWSS work, we're working a lot on some of the rule revisions or new rules coming out. We have the PFAS rule, which we're working on putting together right now. I'm in the national work group, and the plan is to get the proposed rule published by the end of this year. We also have the CCR rule revisions coming out. I believe the proposed rule is due by the spring to be published. The restructuring rule is coming out as well. I can't remember the timeline on that, but that one's going to be more of it gives the states the ability to enforce the rule, but they don't have to enforce it. Then we are also working on the 6-year review for the microbial and DBP rules. So we're evaluating those right now to determine if a rule revision is necessary. And then, as I'm sure you know, EPA is also working on the lead and copper, or LCRI rule, which is expected to be proposed by October 16th of 2024. So before the date that the LCRR becomes required by water systems to comply with. Pretty much summary of what we're doing over here.
Wow, you've got a lot on your plate,
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
I do notice that, I believe on the 4th, that EPA came out with their guidance on the inventory. And it was published. Saw it secondhand through a link at DNR's website, sort of stumbled across it. So yeah, I was very happy to see that. I haven't had a chance to go through it, but that will prove helpful. And then have we, as noted, I haven't gone through it. Have they decided yet on complete service line replacement, including the side from the meter into the house? Has that been decided yet?
So I'm pretty sure that that was going to stay from the LCRR. So it does have to be completely removed if identified. I believe there's some funding in bill that can help support the private side as well. I'm not 100% on some of those restrictions off the top of my head, but yes, the inventory guidance has come out. I know that's been highly anticipated by everyone, including us in Region 7. I also work in the direct implementation program for the tribal systems. So with that, I operate the same as on the state inspectors, but just for the tribes. So we've been waiting on that guidance as well to get moving forward with our lead service line inventories for the tribal systems. But I will admit I have not reviewed that yet, so I can't speak to what was put out there, only that we have it.
Yes. Thank you so much. That is a lot. I do like the fact that they're actually decided that we're going to start collecting samples at places that we know have lead service lines instead of
Here and there.
yes, here or there. I'm trying to be political. you'll see a lot of pauses in my speech. There's a reason.
I want to interrupt.
Yes,
Samantha, you said that the CCR is being revised? Or
Yes.
ruling?
Yeah, so under AWEA had made some requirements that the CCR increase their readability and understandability, and that systems serving 10,000 or greater, or sorry, greater than 10,000 people must issue the CCR biannually. What that means is still under decision. We're working that out with the rule revision group. But yeah, so, and then that was supposed to be done, I think, back 2020 or 2021. So EPA is actually under legal agreement to have the proposed rule published by the spring and then a final rule a year later. So we're working on getting that out and updated.
I just wonder if that was anything that we're gonna have to
that was,
go out and visit with.
that's actually a good question, Jim. Thank you for asking. That was good, because I was like, what are we gonna change?
What's happening here?
Yeah, it's not anything drastic. And then, you know, as well with the LCRR and then the LCRI, and then whatever happens with the PFAS, that might change some of the provisions and requirements of CCR as well. But we won't know that until, at least for PFAS, when the proposed rule comes out. And then I'm sure everyone here is aware because it's back from June, but then EPA also released health advisory levels for PFAS contaminants. So you have updated interim health advisory levels for PFOA and PFAS with an OS, and then final health advisory levels for PFBS and PFN, or sorry, Gen X and PFBS. No, sorry. Yeah, Gen X and PFBS, sorry.
Very good. Quick question, is there a way to get on an email list? Does EPA do a broadcast and let, you know, like these are what's going on, or updates on everything as it goes out?
I'm not aware of a list. I normally get it just filtered through different channels, but I can forward it out. Normally MDNR gets it sometimes ahead of me. And then they'll put it on their website for any big news updates, but I can forward along stuff that I received to you guys.
And that was June.
Yeah, I guess I need to get dialed in just a little bit more into the main line. Maybe start perusing the EPA website and seeing what's going on. I stumble across stuff on DNRs every once in a while. So yes, thank you.
I'll put the link to the health advisors. There's also some like fact sheets on it and some talking points for utilities. I'll put that in the chat here. You guys can take a look.
Oh, sweet. Good.
Then I'll find the AWEA for the CCR so you guys can see some of the required changes that we have to make for the CCR rule revision, and I'll put that in there.
Excellent. For the record, this meeting is being recorded, so if somebody may want to view it later at another time, see what we discussed, it will be available. So thank you. Howard, it's your turn, sir. Thank you.
So I'm up. My name is Howard Baker. I'm executive director for Missouri Rural Water, and I'm here to spy on these two because they do such a good job. I never get involved in what they're doing, so I like to sneak up on them once in a while. I'm kind of kidding here a little bit. You've got two of the most dedicated people in trying to help these systems do what they need to get done, and I don't worry about them at all. They are very conscientious about trying to do the right stuff with these folks. So I just kind of wanted to stop in and see how things were going.
Well, they're going. Thank you, Howard.
Thank you.
I'll pay you later.
Yeah, well, checks in the mail, I know.
All right, Samantha, thank you for putting those on the chats. The links for everything. Oh, even more. Thank you. Look, I will be downloading, we can also download the chat too later on.
Yeah.
And we can do that if anybody wants, so that there's
If that's okay.
hard copies. Yes. Okay, so first off, and once again, thank you to everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule to participate and assist us, basically help us as we go on our way. We have sort of an idea where we would like to go with it. This can get changed depending on what we receive from National Rural Water on the guidelines for our program. And
Or what comes up.
like Jim is, I can't say this enough. Jim is able to go out and do a lot of the, almost 99% of the technical assistance. And he does a great job. He's able to address about anything that comes along, which is nice. And I guess if he doesn't know it, we all know people that we can call. But
Yeah.
First person I'm gonna call, sitting right next to me, is Jim. If I have something that I'm not sure of, so. With that being said, let us look at what we did last year, fiscal year 2021 through 2022, the stats. We provide, our contract required 200 hours of training and technical assistance. So we performed 258 hours total, 10 hours of OWIA and 10 hours of overburden system training were included in the training requirements. We were under the belief at the beginning that we had to do training targeting small systems. We found out about a third of the way in, or to a half, that if we had an overburdened system that came to a class, that would qualify for that, overburdened or tribal. Missouri obviously does not have tribal, so we basically, everything we would have taught to those systems, we were teaching anyhow, and we were addressing. The OWIA, 10 hours were required. I'm going to say this between Jim and myself. We did the training, plus we probably did triple that in technical assistance out in the field, if not more, helping people getting their stuff prepared and sent in.
Yep.
Yes, so that was obviously, and then the formal training for overburden, as we said, there was only 10 hours required, but we had numerous small overburden systems. Truthfully, we ask this every time. What is the definition of an overburden system? If we're saying 500 population or less, we all know systems that have higher populations that are just, they're overburdened.
In worse shape, yeah.
Yeah, as Jim said, worse shape. So that was good. So basically, we provided 159 hours of on-site technical assistance. I'm going to say the majority of that was Jim. And I'm going to say it was not just showing up and smiling and talking, sitting down and talking to people for a while. If we were there, it was, we were doing something meaningful, or if we were talking to them, we were saying, you guys know about the lead and copper rule coming up. And it's amazing how many systems didn't even have a clue. That
Don't have a clue. They may have heard of it, but that's down the road sometime. You know, that was the biggest thing was, oh, it's 2 or 3 years from now. No, it's, and then when you get to explain to them, no, it's now. You need to start working on it now. They have no clue. Didn't have a clue. A lot of it. And I say smaller ones, but that's not true. So, I mean, everybody's trying to get the word out. Everybody knows it's there, but I think a lot of them are putting it on the back burner. Just saying, I'll get to it later on. Later on, it's going to creep up on them pretty quick. So that's what's going to be a problem, I think.
agree. And that seems to be, I believe that's part of the big reason for our push towards lead and copper training. We're gonna basically now through the end of the year, it's just gonna be, we're putting blinders on to a lot of other items. It's just that we really need to push this. We had been waiting for official guidance, and we decided that it might be best, even if we don't have everything perfect, we've got to get out there and get in front of people and let them know.
At least get them started on them.
Yes,
You know, they're just, like I said, they're putting it on the back burner, and that's not going to be a good thing. When, you know, year and a half from now, it's going to creep up pretty quick, or 2 years from now, I guess, whatever it is, 26 or 24,
10, 16, 24.
24. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, that date is burned in my brain so much. So we were able to touch 400 students from over 200 utilities in just 19 training sessions. Pretty minimal. There was other tasks that we performed. We could log out of this program and do other stuff for the association. And we sort of took advantage of that. Between the two of us, we knew we would be good on hours. So we did other duties as assigned or as chosen. So, and then the map, of course, it's in grayscale. So we have the map that shows where we performed the training. I will say this, you will know where Poplar Bluff is, and you will know where the lake is. Those two would be in the red. And then we have the one for our office where we did the Zoom classes. We did probably about 5 or 6 of those, very well attended. So, and then the navy blue were in person. We targeted Southwest Missouri, a little bit in Southeast. We had 3 in the St. Louis area, mid central, and then some up in the north. You can see there are holes in the map. And we can tell you right now, yes, those are going to be areas we will be addressing. The goal is to try to get more pins on the map showing across the state training. So that's the game plan for the coming year. As you can see, not much in Kansas City, Northeast, or South Central Missouri. So we know those are areas to target. We would have had some more up north, but someone got sick and we had to reschedule for this week.
Yeah.
So that's how that goes. So there would have been more, but we would have just been padding the numbers. So it may have worked out for the best. Well, the good thing is we actually have guidance that we can share with the students. So that's great. Okay, we're going to flip over to fiscal year 22-23. Well, I guess I should wait and say, is there any questions about what we were able to perform, or any things that you note that we should maybe be aware of? Any suggestions or guidance is appreciated.
Shelby.
There's one thing I wanted to kind of throw out there that we were talking about the lead and copper. And now that the guidance is coming out, one of the things that we're going to do at the association level is we're building a web page that's going to have all this information. It's kind of like a one-stop place to get information. And once we get this up and going, if you would like to stop by and look at it, if there's something you think that we're missing, it'd be great if you'd let us know and a place to pick up any of that additional information. But now that the guidance is out, and once DNR finalizes it, then I think this inventory thing is going to take off, and I think it's going to be harem scarum for the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Shelby or Samantha, do you have any suggestions or ideas for us?
Mark, this is Shelby. I do not have anything at this time.
Thank you so much.
I do not have anything either at this time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, let's go to page 2. So what we did fiscal year 2022, 2023. And basically, you're going to see that, yes, we are still waiting for the formal contract with EPA to come from national. This last year's been a great learning experience about, do we just move forward or do we just wait? And I've got to the point where it's like, it's time to just move on, and we can, whatever comes up afterwards, we'll deal with. But we've got to just hit the ground running. There's just, the clock is running on these people, 10, 16, 24. Let's say that one is just like burning my brain. We've got to get out there and get going with everything. Let people know, if we just rattle one page a month that did not even know or aware of anything, we've done it. It's an accomplishment. I set goals low because that way you can hit them and you just want to keep going. It's also sort of gratifying that you can actually get something accomplished and make sure it shows it. We've also heard that there was 300 hours of training and technical assistance is going to be part of the contract this year. That's all secondhand. We've seen it in emails, but that's just hearsay at this point. And we don't know the subcategories, such as last year it was AWEA and cybersecurity. We did a bunch of training on that. Travel and overburdened systems. Those requirements are unknown. Usually those are included in the total training hours, TTA. So we've got that. We can easily adjust and modify the training or update it, add new classes in. As operators, Jim and I are like, we always want new classes. Howard's probably the same way. We've been certified forever, all of us, and it's like, we want something new. So what we did is real simple. We put down, we provided what was required the last fiscal year, how it was broken down, just sort of, so you can sort of see how it was set up for us. So that was with 200 hours. So they're basically saying by quarter, how many hours you need to have performed. Some of those the first one, I think we were a little bit short because we're in the process of.
We started with.
Yeah, we did. We were getting new into the jobs.
Yeah.
So we had
were
to get,
about a month in before we got started. So
yeah, which was part of the thing again, why we're sort of antsy this year. So after the first quarter, we got to where we needed to be and above and beyond. So we're hoping to come out of the gate strong and don't let up, because there's so much out there that we can do. And as Howard says, our goal is, these numbers are just things we need to meet. It's more about assisting the rural systems or the people that are in our charge that we need to work with.
Yep.
It's almost like our children. It's like you want them to do well. You're going to do everything you can.
a lot of hand holding.
Yeah, there's hand holding. That as you raise kids, you're either holding their hands or you're just saying, "I'm getting out of your way." And that's the way it is in the water industry. You've got both times. So with that being said, we just know it's going to be 300 hours. We're going to double down actually on lead and copper rule for the first half, and then see where we're at and run with it from there. I know I've said that a lot, but I'm really wanting to emphasize that. And Jim is going to still continue working his magic out in the field. I'm trying to get him into the classroom because I'm not getting any younger. And, we just sort of went straight up. Anybody who ever wants to come into a class that we are doing, you are welcome. You can come in and talk for half an hour, half a day, or anything that you would like to talk about. It would be enlightening. It would be great for the specialists. I'm trying to not use the word operators. It would be great for the specialists to see faces to go with the names that they see on the other side of the thing. So with that being noted, Samantha, when I said that about talking at Unity Village, thank you. That's a great thing for everybody. So with that being said, we've talked about the lead and copper rule to no end. Do you have any other thoughts on items, Jim?
Well, this next year, Samantha, when was the CCR coming out? This year, next year, or what?
The proposed rule will be published in the spring.
In the spring, okay.
Yeah.
Because that'll be another topic there, probably.
Yeah, I'll look through my notes real quick and get you the exact date that it's required to be published by, and I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you.
Shelby, you know of anything different coming down from DNR maybe that we may need to get the word out on?
I don't think so. I can look into it and see if we have anything else, but all I know of is the lead and copper rule. We heard about the CCRs, but without any guidance on that, we haven't done any work either. But those are the two that I've heard about.
So PFAS and stuff, you got a PFAS class, didn't you?
No,
No, oh, I thought
I
you
think that was Weber.
was that whatever.
I think Gary was
Oh, okay.
doing something like that.
I thought you were gonna do one.
And Fuchs was all into that too.
I don't know.
We can work on that.
Continue with the lead and copper. Okay. No, that's.
I think one of the biggest pluses with this program is that they're actually getting to do training. And that's kind of a rare thing for a lot of the other programs that we're in. So this one does a lot of good. I mean, it gives us the opportunity to get that extra training out there that all these systems are wanting.
And your classes have been well attended too, so.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate.
Yeah.
In spite of me, they come. I guess they must need hours.
Yeah.
And it says, AWIA required for CCR rule to be amended by October 23rd, 2020. EPA is under a consent decree to promulgate a rule by March 15th of 2024, just before our conference at St. Charles.
Yeah,
Or no, it's the same week.
that's be the same week,
Yep. Thank you.
March 24th, March
15th,
15th.
3/15/24. Proposed to be published.
Yeah, so the proposed rule needs to be published by March 15th, 2023, and then a final rule a year later. And then, like all the other rules, water systems will be required to start complying with the rule 3 years after promulgation.
Okay. So that's something else there, so.
And I will say this, DNR does a very good job with the CCRs. They pretty much prep them out and they send them to the systems. I do remember when that rule first came out, rural water was, I worked for DNR and all I can say, it seemed like there was a competition there. And it's like, you guys up the ante on us really big time. And it was like, well, we need to get out there and do something on it. So thank you for that. That was a good thing that rural water did.
Yeah, I was all over the place with CCRs. That was, yeah, that's what I said when Samantha said CCRs, I went, Mark looked at me. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I looked at Mark and I was, oh no, here we go again, but maybe it'll be good.
Yeah, that was back when I was your handler.
Yeah, you were my handler. Yeah.
Shelby, that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Watch too many TV shows. So with that being said, we are soliciting any suggestions. and Samantha, you've given us a lot. Shelby, you know, I know you're sort of in a spot because you don't know, well, let's be nice. So you're sort of in a spot, until the department decides which way what they're gonna do, so. Thank you. But anything at all, you have emails, you have my email address, Jim was copied on that. Jim and I communicate quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And so, yeah, phones, you have texting, you've got phone calls. Doesn't matter. Just feel free to contact us or give us a heads up or say, we need you to do this. We're sort of compartmentalized. Jim does more of the technical assistance. It's been forever. When you sit behind a desk in a cubicle at DNR for, good Lord, 15 years or better, and not being out in the field. My original jobs were out in field jobs at DNR. Then you get behind a desk, you sort of lose touch with a lot of stuff and things change.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking about, you know, your classes and different things we got going on. Samantha, Shelby, do you guys ever get a chance maybe to come out to one of the classes or do a little bit in the classes, you know, have short time or discussion or something, EPA side, DNR side? That would be great. I know you would be all right with you. So, but you know, any classes up around the Kansas City area where you wouldn't have to travel very far, or Shelby, you around Jeff City, I know we'll have some classes in Central and South Central, but would love to see you guys at maybe one of the classes or several classes.
As noted.
So as far for EPA, we're beginning to travel again, so I can do any type of presentation, either myself or one of my coworkers, depending on the topic. Just reach out and let me know what you'd like and where, and we can talk about the details.
Wonderful.
One down, one more to go. How about it, Shelby?
Yeah, I mean, I think DNR is pretty open to coming to any trainings. It kind of depends on where it is, when it is, you know, who's available. We do have specialists, so much like EPA, you know, Jeff and Austin are lead and copper gurus, and Eric and Brent over there in monitoring are working on PFAS. So, you know, depending on the topic, it wouldn't necessarily be from capacity development. It would be someone else.
We can figure out a way to
Yep.
get you in there.
Yeah, we'll get her in front of the camera sometime.
Incidentally, we will be in touch because obviously you saw the giant hole in the map around Kansas City. I sort of avoided that because that's where I used to work at and do training. And I didn't want to look like I was playing favorites. But the gloves are off now, so yes. Howard's laughing. Yes. Very good. We will be in touch, Shelby, with you concerning, I know there's some document that we're gonna have to work with you on to get sent in, and I think that's, you very much know what we're looking at, planning to do, and you've opened up a few ideas for us too, what we can maybe diversify into. Maybe we can do an upcoming regulations class, which would be very good.
That might be, yeah.
In addition to doing the regulations that we all don't know a lot about out in the field. So, yes.
But right now you've got lead and copper classes scheduled. No PFAS, but mostly lead and copper.
Yes. Yeah. We've got the 2 classes this week, and then we're going to start doing, we're going to try to start doing Zoom meetings, because you can get a lot more people exposed to it, and they'll be just short, like 2 or 3 hour classes.
Yeah, I think that's what it was before. Couple hours.
And that get them training hours. maybe do a series like, what's required now, how does it affect our sampling? Just, there's a bunch of different ways we can go with that. So.
But it looks like, of course, CCR and PFAS is gonna be there too, so that might be some new classes
Yeah.
late fall.
That reminded me about UCMR 5. So EPA on their website, you should be able to access it through the link that I added in the chat. They have 2 videos on there. One's for large systems, so they're serving greater than 10,000, and one is for those systems serving 10,000 or less. Video demonstrations on how to enter reporting requirements into SIDWARs. And then EPA is also planning to release video demonstrations for PFAS sampling onto YouTube this October. So one of the things to, if you're working with systems, definitely those large systems, and then those systems between 3,300 and 10,000, because under WIA, UCMR 5, provided there's adequate funding, all systems in that 3,300 to 10,000 category will be sampling for UCMR 5. Right now, we only have about 400 confirmed, but it is important that even if those systems aren't confirmed, before the end of this year, all of those systems that are eligible for UCMR 5 requirements need to complete they need to have their contact information and their service inventory into SIDWARs before the end of the year. Actually, contact information is for those are confirmed, and then those are tentative, have 90 days from confirmation. But the big thing is their service line inventory has to be in there before the end of this year.
Okay.
News to us.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's gonna all sneak up quick.
It is.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you have anything?
No, I'm good.
Anybody else have anything that they would like to discuss or suggestions, ideas? We've gotten quite a few. Taking notes, quite a few actually. So. Shelby, do you have anything else you would like to discuss?
I do not.
Thank you. Samantha?
I do not.
Okay. Well, with that being said, I want to make sure that we issue a formal invitation. You are more than welcome anytime to come into a training class, monitor it, come in and participate, come in and present. Because there's sometimes it's good to have a different person with a different perspective and a different way of looking at, providing information. It's always good for the attendees. We have the conferences. I don't know what the travel policies are, whether you get to go or how that all works. You are more than welcome to, we would love to see you at a conference and say hi. And if I'm at doing a conference, I'm doing a presentation, I will call you out and say, hey, thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Come up here and that way everybody can see you. So yes. Nothing else. I'm good. And we will, any additional work that we need to do, we will perform that. And any formal paperwork we will address shortly. It's all about getting things performed in a timely manner.
Yeah, as soon as we get that, we have to fill it out to get it in. It's supposed to already been in, but we haven't received it yet. So
yes, so very good. Well, if there's nothing else, thank you once again. Thank you so much for your time. It was very short notice for the meeting, and appreciate it immensely. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Samantha.